All right, let's go ahead and get started this morning. I don't want to wait any longer. I know you guys all have a very busy day to get to. So we'll get started. Um, this webinar, first of all, I'm doing it right now because next month is going to be a huge recruiting month. And then secondly, when it comes to questions, anytime you become a sponsor, the biggest question you're going to get is, how do I grow my team? How do I recruit? So I feel like this is one of the most important webinars that I do. And I feel like I kind of do it over and over at least a couple times a year, but it is very important. So I appreciate you joining me this morning. It will be recorded and I will post that later today. So feel free to share it with team members or Cincy Sisters so they can hear what you heard. Recruiting. The biggest thing about recruiting is the yikes of it all. Why are we so scared of asking other people to do what we do? And really, when it comes to recruiting or sponsoring, it is one of the scariest things we can do. So why is that? The main reason is not because we're afraid of someone to tell us no, but because we look at it as a personal rejection. Anytime someone says no to you, no, I'm not interested, no, I don't have time, no, I have a real job, whatever they say, we take it personally. We feel like they are not rejecting the opportunity, but rejecting us in a way. So I think one of the biggest things to remember is that when someone tells us no, for whatever reason it is, that we don't take that personally. It's not you. They're just not interested in doing what you do. But we have to continue to ask. So what if recruiting and sponsoring was not a dirty word? What if every time we thought of it, we didn't shudder just a little bit? What if we looked at this as part of what we do? We're not going to take it personally anymore, but we're going to use it to grow ourselves and grow our business. And we're going to get over that little piece of rejection and we're going to continue to move forward. I want to remind you guys that we live in a world of recruiters, and you may not see it because we don't think about it very often, but almost everyone recruits. The Girl Scouts recruit, the Boy Scouts recruit, large companies recruit, all the military branches recruit, just about everyone recruits. Even other direct sales companies recruit. Believe it or not, other direct sales companies try to recruit Cincy consultants or Cincy family consultants to come to their company. So everyone's always looking for someone to do what they're doing. So never ever feel like you're the only one that's out there asking people to do something. How many calls do we get to refinance our mortgage or to donate to such and such cause? We have to remember everyone is recruiting for something. How many times have you gotten a call to ask to join a certain association or a certain league or whatever your kids are doing? Come do this with us or come be in this mom's group. Everyone recruits, so don't think you're the only one out there. And these people are told no too, but the way that they grow their business bigger and better and make themselves better is to continue to go through all those no's. So with confidence, we'll be able to move forward. And the last question on this slide I want to ask you guys is, why wouldn't you? Why would you not have confidence in asking people? Like I said, it does hurt when someone says no, but it's something that we have to move through. And the more you do it and the more you hear it, the better you'll get at it. And with confidence, you will build your business. When you ask someone, maybe the first few times you're going to be ready for them to say no. You're going to be ready for what you think they're going to say. But if you continue to move through it and you continue to have confidence in what you're doing and the reason you're doing it, you will persevere and you will continue to grow a team or start to grow a team. So when? When do we want to start recruiting? Are you ready to be a sponsor? Are you kidding? Everyone is ready to grow a team. Even if you just started your business a month ago, there is no reason to wait to be a sponsor. First of all, because you can learn from teaching, and that is the best way that we learn. I think I've learned more since I've had kids than I ever learned in my whole life, because you learn by teaching other people. How or what better way would it be to learn about your business than someone asking you questions about it all the time? And that usually doesn't happen until we grow a team. So your customers might ask things about the product or this and that, but no one's going to ask you, how do I get to this on the workstation, or where can I find this flyer, or all of these things until you are a sponsor, until you grow a team. So be sure to get started right away. Don't wait for 3 months, 6 months, a year, however long it is. Don't wait to do that, because there is no better way to grow yourself and your business but being a sponsor. So first of all, do you have a story to share? Do you have a Cincy, Velada, Grace Adele, do you have a Cincy family story to share? Now some people would think, okay, I just barely started. I don't really have a story, but you do. No matter how long you've been in this business, you have a story. Your story can be anything from, this is why I joined, and so far this is how it's going. Your story can be, this has been amazing because. Be sure to tell people what your story is, no matter what it is, because if it's a piece of you, it's something that you'll share from your heart, and that's important that people see who you really are. And when people see emotion, they're drawn to it. If you think about something like, let's take the Girl Scouts, for instance, and I was never a Girl Scout, so I can't speak from experience on this, but for instance, usually daughters or little girls who become Girl Scouts is because their mothers were Girl Scouts and their grandmothers were Girl Scouts, and that's something that they see in their mom, or their mom has an emotional connection to it, so that's why they've recruited them into it. Or let's take the military. My husband, for those of you who don't know, right now he's on recruiting duty. So, and it's definitely a different world than what we do. But from what I've seen and from what I've learned from him, the best way for them to recruit is to share through emotion, to share, this is why I love my job. If they have a love for what they do, people will want to do what they're doing. Also, keep up on Cincy News. It's best to be a sponsor when you are the tour guide that you would choose. Say you go to, okay, you're on vacation and you're going to take a tour of the Mayan ruins. Would you want to take a tour with a guide who has never been there before? Because they're not going to know what they're doing. Be the guide that you would want to go on the trip with. So if that makes any sense, people want to choose a sponsor that they know has confidence, that they know knows their business, that they know if they need help, it's going to be there. So be the tour guide you choose, and if you want to be that person, you have to learn. You have to take the time to keep up on what's going on. If someone wants to know, okay, how do I have my first party? And you're like, well, I don't really do parties. They're going to be like, oh, well, maybe I should have picked a different sponsor. So be sure that you are up and up on your business and you know what you're doing, because when you do, you'll be confident, you'll be able to share, and you will be a better recruiter. Eliminate time killers. A lot of people say, I don't have time to be on the workstation all day reading all my emails and doing all these things. Make sure that you know that when you're spending an hour or 2 hours a day on Facebook, you could spend 30 minutes of that time reading over what's new on your workstation, reading over what's coming out next month, so that you're able to guide and you will feel more confident. You'll be a better recruiter. So there's no better time. I said when earlier, so the when is obviously now. Cincy family opportunities are amazing, and we always get that, and I've heard this a million times. You started at the best time. I could never do what you're doing because I didn't start a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. The opportunity isn't the same. Yes, it is. We have 3 brand new companies. Even if they don't want to join Grace Adele or Velada, they can recruit into those fields and build their team that way. Not only that, but the opportunity is not gone with Cincy Fragrance. I can tell you what I tell people when they say, oh, there's a million Cincy consultants that live in my neighborhood, that live in my town, whatever it is. There may be a few consultants where they live, but they can work their business to a level that it won't matter how many consultants are around them. It doesn't matter if you live on a street and can stand in your front yard and see 5 other houses where Cincy consultants live. You can still work your business to a level that it doesn't matter. You can recruit everybody on the whole block and still have a very prosperous business. So when they have those excuses, make sure and explain that to them and let them know it is what they make it. There are 100 coffee shops in every city, but it doesn't stop them from selling coffee. You have to remember that. It's about what they choose to do, how they choose to run their business that makes people go to them. the other question I have is, do you grasp the magnitude of what the Scentsy family is? Now, if you think about this, I take a look at other direct selling companies, and they have a definite focus on one brand, which is amazing, and that's what Scentsy family did in the beginning. We had one brand, we recruited for one company, and we grew and we grew and we grew with a fury. But now, we didn't stop. We didn't continue to say, okay, over the next 15 years, we're going to recruit for this one company, and we're going to continue on. People are going to start, people are going to quit, people are going to come, and people are going to go, but we're going to continue on. We will do that, but instead, we are adding more doors and more windows to our building. So if you get worn out on one thing, you can move over to the next. If you can't recruit anyone for Grace Adele, you can recruit for Volata. We have keys that fit every single door, and they are giving us those tools so that the opportunity is the very same as if you started the first day since he started. So remember that, and realize the magnitude of what our opportunity is. And if you realize that, and if you think about it, your passion will grow and the fire in you will grow to recruit and grow a team. So if we're talking about when, and obviously I already said now, so what are the reasons? Why right now? Well, first of all, next month is going to be an enhanced starter kit for February Scentsy fragrance consultants. So what does that mean, enhanced starter kit? What that means is anyone who signs up for Scentsy Fragrance in February will get a double dip. So they'll get spring, summer, and fall, winter catalogs and testers, and also a chance at a double launch. So what does that mean? Okay, if they sign up in February, they can launch, and they're going to launch with everything from the fall, winter kit because they have that stuff. But then once March rolls around, they can relaunch because they have all the spring, summer stuff too, and it'll be a reason to relaunch their business. So that's an incentive for new people to sign up in Scentsy Fragrance. There are awesome new catalogs for Grace Adele and also, well, all three brands, obviously. The new catalogs will be February, March, and April for the brands, and I have them there on the screen, so I don't need to read them to you. Also, another thing that people say when you're recruiting, okay, I have so many fence sitters. You'll have people all along your journey that say, you know what, not right now, but, oh, you have the people at the party that say, oh, I've been thinking about doing this, but they never jump off that fence. Be sure to remind them there will never be a less busy day, a less busy month, a less busy year. You have to choose and make the time to make it work for you. If you want to run a business, you have to make it work. There's never going to be a less demanding week in their job. There's never going to be more time when their kids are less demanding, because as they grow older, they're going to need new and different things. There's going to be, even if they're babies or toddlers now, next it's going to be the little sports clubs, and as they move into middle school, it's going to be even more sports and different things. So your kids are never going to get less demanding. There's never going to be a better day and a better time than right now. And I could tell you guys, when I signed up, I waited about 9 months from when my sponsor started talking to me about joining Scentsy Fragrance. And I look back on it now, and I can honestly say it was right for me when I joined, but at the same time, you always wonder, what if I had started 9 months ago? So make sure and tell them that, and if you have that as part of your story, be sure and share that with them. I read a book once, and this lady tells a story about a bus marked perfection, and it's a good story because if you wait on the bench for the bus that's marked perfection, I can tell you right now it's never going to come. If you wait for that perfect moment where you have this giant support system and an extra 5 hours each day to run your business, it's not going to happen. There is no bus marked perfection. What you have to do is get on the next bus and make it yours. You have to own it, and you have to let people know that this is my time. Because guess what? You get to choose when works for you. You get to choose how you allot your time during your day, and you get to choose whether your business will work, when you will recruit, when you will grow a team, and what will happen with your business. So stop waiting for the bus marked perfection even to recruit. So why? Why do we want to recruit? First of all, to share this incredible opportunity. And to me, When I recruit, I look at it as a possibility of changing someone's life. And if I can, I want to ask you guys to take a moment and reflect on your journey with whatever brand you've signed up with, even if you just started. Reflect on your why you joined and reflect on what it's done for you. What has it changed within you, within your family dynamic, within you as a person? And be sure to share that and realize what you're sharing in this opportunity. Share what you've learned and share what you love about what you're doing. Share how much you've grown. Share the fact that when you started, there's no way that you would talk to people about what you're doing. There's no way you would talk to a stranger, but you're so excited and you love what you're doing so much. It's a great experience. This is why we recruit, because it feels good to guide people. It feels good to change someone's life. I can tell you each year at convention when I go, because that's usually the time when I see the most members of my team or my group, it's so amazing to sit with several hundred people and look and say, you know what? Because I recruited one person, because I sponsored one person, and she sponsored one person, and on down the line, there are hundreds whose lives are changed because of what I did. And I can't say, oh, they wouldn't have made it because of me or if I hadn't done this, but you look at the way it branches out, and you could be proud of what you do because you've shared this amazing thing with other people. Also, it's a way to grow your business in a new way. When you sell, there's only a certain percentage you can make. So you can make 25% plus your bonus, and that is your income, no matter how much you sell. And I can tell you, because there are so many hours in the day, there's only a certain amount of product that we can sell. So the way to grow your income to be unlimited is to sponsor, because now you can sell the very most you can sell, and you can help others do the same. Not only that, but you can grow yourself as a leader. When you lead other people, it grows your confidence, it builds your self-esteem, and it helps you be a leader. It gives you new skills. Like I said, you're constantly learning because you constantly have people asking you questions and helping you learn and giving you that push to teach, and that grows you as a person. So that being said, how? And this is, I think, when it comes to recruiting, this is the biggest thing. Now that we know when and why, how are we going to do it? First of all, share Scentsy with everyone you meet. What a simple statement, right? So if we could walk around town and everyone that we passed on the sidewalk, every store we went into, every other person in Walmart or Target or wherever you go, if we could actually stop and talk to everyone, that would be a simple statement. But we can't, because I don't know anyone that's quite that confident. So here's the thing. You have to build a fire within you that makes you want to share so badly that there's no way you can stop talking to people. Now, those of you who have been with the company for a while, I want to ask you, have you lost the tingle? So what does that mean? So let's use this example. When you first met your spouse or your boyfriend, there's those certain butterflies that you get whenever you see them, whenever you think about them, whenever you see their number pop up on your phone. And we start that way with our business. So when we first signed up, like I can remember when I first signed up, I couldn't sleep that night. Like I was thinking, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I'm so excited, and these are my goals, and here's what I'm going to do. If you lose that, you also lose your enthusiasm and your excitement. And when you lose those things, people stop looking at what you're doing. So be sure to set an example everywhere you go. Have a smile on your face. Make people wonder why you're so excited about your job. And I don't like to call it a job because I don't think it is a job, but everywhere you go, represent what you do in a way that people want to be around you. People look at you and say, I wish I did what she does. I wish I did what he does, because they'll be drawn to you and they'll say, well, how did you do that? I want to do what you're doing. Also, always have paraphernalia. Have car tools. So have catalogs in your car, have join brochures in your car, have business cards, have a binder, a folder, a box, a bucket. I don't care what it is. Have them under your seat or in the glove box. Have things in your car. Have your car branded. That way, everywhere you go, you're a billboard. Have stuff in your purse, in your diaper bag. Have these tools that help you recruit and grow a team, along with a smile and an attitude. One example I always like to give, you can't turn it on and turn it off like some of us do. And there's always that moment as a mom when you're frustrated with the kids, you're getting them in the car. Get in the car, I got to get the groceries in. You're doing this, you're doing that, and everyone's looking at you, and people may see you across the parking lot when you're not even realizing they're looking. If they walk up to you and say, do you have a Scentsy catalog? You turn around and all of a sudden this giant smile is on your face. Oh, hi. And you grab your catalog and this is the new catalog and call me if you need anything. Except now they're thinking, no, wait a minute. Who was that? Because they saw you minutes before. So you have to be sure and reflect through your life who you are. You can't turn it on and turn it off. You have to be your business all the time, even when you think people aren't looking. Be enthusiastic, be contagious, be the person that people want to be their tour guide. Be the person that people are drawn to, that people say, she is crazy over the top about this and I want to know why. So how else? Like I said, brand like it's cool because it is. Brand yourself. Get at least one t-shirt. I know we can't always afford a million different Scentsy t-shirts or Grace Adele t-shirts. If you have one, wear it when you go out. Wear a sweatshirt, wear a hat, wear a button. They're only $3. Brand your car, like I said, and brand your family. We have kids stuff now, or kids love to wear stickers. Give them a Scentsy sticker, or have your kids take catalogs to school. Make sure if they're old enough to have a locker at school that they have a scent circle in there or a scent pack. Brand your family and wherever they go. If your husband has an office or a job where he can have a warmer, make sure that he has one there. Spread this out because the people around them will take notice as well, and you have these outlets that you can use to your advantage. See your business for what it is. So when we talk to people about joining or sponsoring or whatever it is, joining your team, look at it as a blessing and not a burden. A lot of times when we talk to people, we'll say something like, oh, have you ever thought about becoming a consultant? And automatically they're like, oh, and you kind of feel like you're burdening them, you're taking up their time. Don't look at it that way. Look at it as I said before. Look what this has done for me. Or tell them, ask them, do you like your job? How long have you been working here? Start a conversation with someone and feel like you're blessing them because you very well could be. And then I have there, be the cool float with the candy. We've all been to a parade before, especially even if you've had kids or nieces or nephew or whoever it is. The parade is cool, but the float with the candy is the one that we pay attention to because they're the ones that they're giving away something we like, obviously, or our kids like, and they're the ones with smiles on their faces because they're giving something away. And a lot of times it'll be magnets or whatever, candies or whatever they're giving away. Be that float. Be the float in the parade that is throwing out paraphernalia or Scentsy cards or samples. Make people take notice of what you're doing. And if you're throwing out that stuff all the time, there's no way that you cannot recruit. And the last thing on how is ask, 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 and ask again. Remember that a no never killed anyone. And I can tell you, the more no's you get, the closer to a yes you are. Challenge yourself to collect the no's. Challenge yourself to collect a certain number of no's every single week, every single day, no matter what it is. Pick up the phone. There's a few different ways to do it. Challenge yourself on a number or have a certain number of little bracelets on every day. They can be those silly rubber ones from the dollar store or whatever they are. And make sure that you don't like them, but every time you ask someone or tell them about the opportunity, you get to take one off. So at the end of the day, make sure you're not wearing any of those bracelets or that you hit your, I got this many no's today, but guess what? I got one yes. Remember that confidence is magic. When you speak about your business, when you speak to other people, be confident. Know that what you're sharing is important. Know that what you're sharing and believe that what you're sharing can change their lives and they will believe in you. You are the only one that can pop your bubble. So what does that mean? All of us have this bubble when we start our business and even if you've been in your business for a year or so, you may still have that bubble. We start off with our friends and family. Of course, the easiest people to get to join is your sister or your mom or your cousin, because you can ask them and you don't care if they say no because you're going to continue to convince them, right? So once you get to the end of that, once you've had all your cousins, brothers, girlfriends, aunts, uncles join that you can get to join or sponsor, now what? You've hit the edge of your bubble. So are you going to stay in there and not talk to strangers? Strangers, it's a very scary thing. Like I said, it's one of the scariest things you can do is get a no from a stranger. But you have to pop that bubble. You have to go outside your comfort zone, go outside that friends and family bubble and talk to strangers. Tell people about your opportunity that you never thought you would talk to. If you do it once, it'll be the hardest time, and the second time will get a little easier, and the third a little easier, but continue to move outside your bubble until your confidence is magic. So where? Absolutely everywhere, obviously. Everyone that comes to your house, package delivery drivers, should not leave your house without a scent circle. The mail, you can leave a scent sample in your mailbox. Food delivery people, whether it be the meat companies or the Schwann's driver, make sure they know what you do. Ask them, what kind of fragrance do you have in your home? Everyone has something. Either they have the little plug-in air fresheners, they have candles, whatever it is. Show them what you have. They're coming to your house to sell something. Why not sell them something too? Anyone that comes to your door selling something. I had this last summer, I had somebody come to the front door and they want to sell the glass cleaner or the grout cleaner or whatever, and they start spraying on your window before you even ask, and they're showing you what they have. And I always ask them, how long have you been doing this? Have you ever thought about something else, doing something else to where you can change people's lives, not just clean their glass, but change their lives? And they always look at me like I'm a crazy person. And I've never actually recruited someone, but why not? Why not? They're already salespeople. They're already outside their comfort zone knocking on your door. So why not show them an opportunity while they're there? Obviously, your friends, your neighbors, church groups, anyone who comes to your house to visit should know what you do. Everywhere, literally everywhere. Shopping, leave things in restrooms where you go, magnets when you're running errands. If you are going to the post office, school, church, doctor and dentist's office, these are places that we can leave catalogs, brochures, little flyers, businesses around town, social networking. And I want to throw something in here really quick about social networking. A lot of us who have a business will constantly post on Facebook, on MySpace, on whatever it is about our business. Remember that billboard blindness does occur. So what do I mean by that? If you drive the same way to work every single day, there are probably certain signs that you drive by or billboards that you don't even notice anymore. Make sure that you don't do this to your business. Make sure that you aren't throwing up so many billboards that no one takes notice anymore. Make what you say count. Also, be sure to be recruiting at parties. This is one of the most important things we can do. Recruit your hostess. They already love the product. They're already sharing with their friends. Why not have an income from what they love? Be sure that you have join brochures and information in your basket parties and when you do open houses. Fundraisers are a great way to recruit people or sponsor new team members because they see the magnitude of the people that love our products. At your job, at your husband's job, if you have a second job, at social events, don't go anywhere without bringing something that has to do with your business with you. At the salon where you get your hair and nails done, where you get massages, where you get your back cracked at the chiropractor, everywhere you go, continue to share and continue to collect those no's. At the post office, if you're mailing Scentsy mail, tell them what you're mailing. Why not? You got their time for at least 2 minutes anyways. At the grocery store, ask the clerk, how long have you been here? Do you like it? You're already in a sales type of job. Have you ever thought about doing something else? At a restaurant, be sure and leave a card when you leave a tip, or when you pay your bill, or the hostess when you go in. If you have to wait to get seated, talk to everyone you can and get outside that bubble. At a gas station, if you have magnets of your business card, leave them on the pump when you leave. In a convenience store, like I said, in the restrooms, leave scent samples or business cards in there. Worst case scenario, someone throws your paper away. Not only will you never know, but someone might pick it up that calls you and says, hey, you know what, I might be interested in this. You never know. So literally everywhere you go. Next thing I want to talk about is being an amazing sponsor. Now, recruiting is one of the best and biggest things we can do for our business, but we can recruit 100 people. If we cannot be a sponsor to those people, everything we've done goes out the window. So what is a sponsor? The definition of a sponsor is a person or organization that provides support for a project or activity carried out by another in particular. So we have to provide support for everyone we recruit. So if you're planning on recruiting, if you don't have a team or if you already have a team, be sure that you're being a good sponsor. Be your dream sponsor. Take cues and clues from the people you recruit on what kind of sponsor they want you to be. And if you're not sure of what they want, ask them. A lot of times I'll ask my new team members, would it be better if I just emailed you, or do you want me to call you every once in a while? Everyone wants something different out of their sponsor, so be sure that you're tuned in to what they want. And don't be afraid to ask them. Like I said, let them know. Some people want contacted once a week. Some people don't ever want to hear from you. Some people will say, you know what, if I need something, I'll call you. And you can check in on them every once in a while. But some people will just go for it, and they don't need or want a lot of help from you. So be the sponsor that you would want to have. If you can sit back and say, you know what, my sponsor never does this, this, and this, are you doing it for your team members? What about the good things that your sponsor does? I love it when my sponsor does this. Are you doing that for your team members? Be your dream sponsor, and remember that as you grow your team to be the very best sponsor that you can be, and they will grow their business. In turn, they'll be a great sponsor when they recruit. So welcome and communicate. A few of the things that you need to do as a sponsor. First thing you want to do is welcome them, obviously, and be sure and continue to communicate with them through their entire Cincy journey, whether it be through email, phone calls, text, Facebook, and be reachable. It's very important that they don't feel like they signed up and you spent all this time with them to show them the opportunity and show them how great it was, and then you're like, okay, good luck. You want to make sure that you do the things that count with them. And I can tell you small things do count. Thank you cards count. Text message to say, hey, good job last month. You really did awesome. Words of encouragement go a very, very long ways. You don't have to buy them big gifts. You don't have to spend your entire income trying to impress other people. Words and thoughts of encouragement go further than you can imagine. Keep it simple. Make sure they know that you're there for them, but you're not going to step on their toes. You're not going to be all up in their business all the time. Like I said, make sure you know how they want to be reached and be reachable. Now, what do I mean by be reachable? People always say you need to set business hours, and I think that's very important if you can do that. If I'm being honest, I'm not the type of person that can. If my phone buzzes or I get a Facebook message, I'm usually on it unless I'm in the middle of family time. Be reachable to a limit. Don't push your family aside because they'll become resentful. So as a sponsor, make sure and set your limits. Come together as a team. Even if you have one team member, it's very, very important that you come together with them every once in a while through calls or conference calls. If you have a team of 3, have a little conference call. They're a free call. What is it called? I can't even think right now. I don't know. There's a free call thing you can sign up for. It's where you can have free conference calls, even if it's with 2 or 3 people. Make them feel like a team, even if you live far away. Facebook groups. Create a little group where the 2, 3, 5, 10, 100 of you can get on there and share ideas and share with each other. Because you can't always be available for them, it's great when they can make connections with each other. There's My Family sites. You can do webinars. If your team is local, have meetings. I remember the very first team meeting I had. I think I had a team of probably 10, and I had the team meeting at Denny's, and I'm pretty sure 4 people showed up, but I had a meeting anyways. I made sure and answer their questions. I made sure and share with them what I was learning. And if you start these things when your team is small, It'll be a whole lot easier to do them when your team grows to 100, 1,000, 2,000, whatever it is. Trips, it's great to go on Cincy trips. If you can, be sure to go to convention, because when you can meet with your team and create that sisterhood or brotherhood or whatever it is, create that family through these trips, you will look forward to it and they will look forward to it, and you'll make connections with your team members that you never thought possible. We also have things like Skype and Animoto and all those little video messages that we can send them to let them know we're thinking of them and that we care about them. Business responsibility. So you say, okay, yes, I want to be a sponsor. What does the Cincy family say I have to do? First of all, you have to help them get off and running. Make sure that they know they can have a launch party, that they need to launch their business, and how to do it. Show them the tools that we have available. And like I said before, be available, but don't enable. Give them the tools they need. Show them the workstation. Show them how to get to the training center. If they live far away, you can talk to them on the phone while they're doing it. Okay, now click the training center. Now you can see everything in there. You can see the categories. If you want to learn how to have a party, if you want to learn how to get hostesses, it's all right there for them. Don't feel like you have to create a million trainings or do a million webinars to make your team prosperous. We have all of the tools they need. All you have to do is show them where their toolbox is. And use tough love. Realize that it is their business and make them realize that too. And this is something that it's hard to do. When someone says, how do I order from Cincy Success? The first thing we want to do is say, okay, you're going to click on your orders tab, then you're going to click the Cincy Family Store, and once you get in there, you'll be able to order. But remember, you have to place an order of this size in order to get free shipping. That is the first thing we want to do. But if we give them the tools, if instead of giving them a step-by-step on how to do every little thing, if we say, you know what, click on your resources tab, there's a flyer under there where you can read about it. Or if you want to know how to put in an order, there is a training on that in your training center. Use tough love and don't be mean. Obviously, we're going to answer some of their questions, but make sure that you guide them so that they can learn on their own. That way they can become a leader themselves. So I want to challenge you guys today. Set some goals for February. Don't just say, I'm going to recruit in February. Of course, we all want to recruit in February, but what are your goals? How many? I challenge you to go big. You may say, okay, I want to recruit 1 in February because I don't have a team, so I really want to recruit. If you're thinking 1, I challenge you to say 2 or 3. If you're thinking 5, I challenge you to say 10. You will amaze yourself when you set these goals. But don't just say, in February I'm going to recruit 5 people. You can't stop there. You have to lay it all out. You have to say, okay, this is my river and on the other side is my 5 people. How am I going to get to them? I'm going to call 5 people a day. I'm going to talk to 5 strangers a day, and I'm going to mail out 5 things a day. If you were to do that every single day, you would probably far surpass your goal. So these are your stepping stones. How are you going to get to where you want to be? You're going to have 3 parties in February. You're going to have 5 parties in February. That puts you around people that you can talk to about this business that already love it. And like I said before, be confident. Know what you're doing is changing people's lives. See it in your leaders, see it in your sponsor, and be confident in what you do. Tell your story and believe in you because your sponsor does and I do. Believe that you can recruit 10 people in a month because I've seen it done. Believe that you can recruit 5 people in a month, 2 people in a month because it's possible, because other people do it. Because all you have to do is step outside your comfort zone and say, this is my time. This is my bus marked for perfection because I choose this time to be now. You can grow a team quicker than you ever imagined possible. Be a great sponsor. Share what you've learned today. Even if you only got one thing of everything that I said, be sure and share that with other people, whether it's your team or Cincy Sisters, whoever it is. A little bit of motivation for you guys before we get off here today. Do you have a handful of seeds or a load of excuses? Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant. What I mean by seeds are every time you speak to someone about this opportunity, you're planting seeds. And they may not grow in the month of February, they may not grow in March, they may not grow for a year or two. But someday that person may come back and say, you know what, now is my time. I'm choosing this bus to be my bus. I can tell you guys, when I first started the business, my very first hostess was off and on interested in the business, and she must have had, I would say at least 4 or 5 parties for me over the course of my business life. And I always talked to her about the opportunity. And the time was never right. She went to school, she had a second job, she did this, she did that. But I think it was about a year ago, she contacted me on Facebook and said, you know what, I want to sign up, I want to do this. Because I had planted those seeds and continued to water them, they finally grew. And it's happened, people will come back a month later. Like I said, don't judge today because you got 4 no's as, okay, this isn't working out for me. But remember that you're planting those seeds. And whatever excuse you have for this not working out for you, it's invalid. There are people who were so shy they wouldn't talk to a stranger in all their life that will talk to everyone they meet because of what this business has done for them. It's a choice. What you do with your business is an absolute choice. Whether you grow a team or not is a choice. If you have team members, be sure that they know that. We always look at someone else who can recruit or sponsor twice as many people as we can and say, you know what, I could never do that. And I know myself that that's not true. People will recruit, always sponsor twice as many as I do, but it's not because I can't. It's because I choose not to. It's because I don't always leave a business card when I go to a restaurant. We have to remind ourselves that the excuses are invalid, that we do what we want to do because we want to make our business work. So next thing I want to go to is questions, and let me get the recording wrapped up and then I will open it up for questions for you guys.